Saturday. It is Sanctified Saturday. It is Stupendous Saturday. It is Surreal Saturday. Come on. It is Supernatural Breakthrough Saturday. It is um, Silly Saturday. It is, thank you. It is whatever kind of Saturday you want to have. You can type that in the chat and let me know. Or if you're watching the replay, make sure that you type in what kind of Saturday or what kind of day you want to have. I don't know why, but on Faith and Footsteps, I've been coming on and declaring our days and setting the intention for our days because I know that there's power. So that's for somebody today. Okay. Now, I wasn't even going to go live today. However, I just felt so strongly to go live today. Um, and oh, I felt so strongly to go live today. Um, because I just had this word in my spirit that I thought would be so helpful to somebody today. But before I get started on that, remember my name is Anisa Wesley. This is my YouTube channel. This is Faith and Footsteps, where we put our feet to our faith, where we walk it like we talk it and we talk it while we walk it. And to subscribe to my channel. Before you go, make sure that you like this video. Make sure that you share this with someone who needs it. And make sure that you're encouraged, okay? And come back and watch this video again because there is always something that is said that maybe you missed or you didn't get the full revelation of what someone said. So not even just from my videos, but anytime you watch something, anytime you read something, make sure that you don't just think that, oh, okay, I read it, I'm good. Always go back and read it again if you can. But welcome in, everyone. My name is Anisa again. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you like this video and make sure that you share it with someone who needs it. Okay. So, hi, welcome in. My only song, I love your name. Um, but okay, so my husband is, gotta love him, wonderful man of God. So shout out to my husband, Peace Siren. If you don't know who he is, he's a Christian rapper, and you can go find his music on YouTube, on any streaming service. Peace, like the peace of God, the number two, IRIN. You can find him and stream his music. Super good, super anointed music. Now, my husband loves wrestling, right? Loves wrestling, loves to watch. He's kind of like a faithful fan of wrestling, and in the sense of he watches it weekly. You know, I myself, I used to watch wrestling when I was younger, so I know all the like old, you know, they old now. They were young back then, but the old people from like WWF or WWE, that's when I used to watch SmackDown and all that stuff. And I was always told that this type of wrestling, the entertainment type, was fake, right? Um, it was fake. And I was like, oh, okay, it's fake. But I was having a conversation with my husband, who's that avid fan, right? And he was like, no, wrestling is not fake, it's fixed. And I said, oh, what now? Why was it broken? Why is it fixed? And he's like, no, fixed means that there is a determined winner at the end of the match. There's going to be a winner that's already predetermined. However, they still have to go through the orchestrated fight. And through that fight, there can be some injuries, even some really critical things that happen during the orchestrated fight. Now, I say orchestrated because these people practice, right? These fights. These people practice how they do these things. They practice these DDTs and these stunts and how they slam people's heads and stuff. They practice this stuff. And yet there are still people who have broken their necks during these fights. They have injured their abdomens, broken ribs, gotten black eyes, right? They look beaten, battered. That part's real. But the fight is fixed. And so I was just like, Lord, the fight is fixed. And I wrote about this actually in my book. If you read my book, it's called Please Excuse My Brave, Overcoming Fear and Living Out Your Purpose. There's a description box, even in this video. You can go there, you can purchase my book off of Amazon. But I wrote about this in my book. So I got this revelation a long time ago. But I just felt like because WrestleMania is today, God was reminding me, and God is reminding you, brother and sister, oh, that the fight is fixed. Okay? The fight is fixed. 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 That means that there is already a predetermined winner, and we just have to continue on through our fight, continue on, put on the whole armor of God, right? I don't know if you guys know, but that is actually in the Bible where Paul is telling us to put on our full armor of God. He's saying that we don't wrestle, my dog Rex, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood enemies, but we wrestle against things that are unseen. Okay. And so when you know that the battle that you're already fighting right now, today, the thing that you're going through, the pain that you're feeling today, the story that God is writing for you, you have to know the fight is fixed. You have to know that God has already went before you in your story, and he said, ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, this person is already victorious. You know, we are just going through the fight. We're going through spiritual warfare, right? The enemy is not going to just say, oh, well, I know that God's going to win, but I'm not going to fight you. No, he's like, no, I'm going to still try to get my lick in, right? Welcome in, Austin. Thank you for joining from Vegas. I know WrestleMania is in Vegas right now. So make sure that you know that your fight, whatever it is fixed. Because sometimes we be fighting like we're defeated, right? Or you don't even want to fight because you feel like you've already lost. Like you feel like you're on the other side of the spectrum. You feel like you're on the other side. You're the loser, right? You're the one that's not victorious. And so you're like, it's not even worth fighting. No. You can put on your boots. Hey, lace up your backpack, whatever how that song goes. It's time to ride, right? You can get yourself prepared and ready so that during the fight, you don't get those casualties or those injuries that I was talking about, right? There is a way for you to fight to where you can come out unscathed, right? Some people go into fights and they put on Vaseline on their face, right? They put on Vaseline on their face. They they put on gloves. They, you know, they have practiced. And so what I want you to understand, what I want you to know, you don't have to go into the fight unprepared. And you don't have to go into the fight already feeling defeated because the fight is fixed. So I, a few weeks ago, we did a 7 days of praying and reading through um, the body armor of God. And I think it would be great if you went and did that for yourself. If this is something, an area that you struggle with, or if you're like, you know what, this is something that I needed to be reminded of, right? I needed to be reminded of this today. So I want you to go read Ephesians 6 and ask the Lord, how can I prepare for this battle that I've already won? How can I go through this battle unscathed? What are the tools that you've given me? What is the gear, the protection that I need? Help me, Lord. Because I know I win at the end, but I don't want to win with bruises. I don't want to win with a limp. I want to win and be able to stand victoriously, right? This reminds me of the story of the three Hebrew boys. Um, I always want to say their Hebrew names, but I cannot remember their Hebrew names. If somebody knows them, please let me know. But the names that they were given were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? They were men of God, right? And they were going against what the culture was saying. The culture was like, bow down to this golden, I don't know if it was a golden calf, but they were like, bow down to the idols here. At a certain time, you got to worship these idols. And they were like, we're not doing that. Not by the hair of our chinny chin chin. We're not doing it. And that really, really pissed off Nebuchadnezzar, who was the king of that time. And he said, you know what? All right, let's see how your God saves you from this fiery furnace. Remember, the fight is fixed. So he's like, let's see how your God saves you from this fiery furnace. And they were like, we know our God's going to save us, but even if he doesn't, we still not doing what you're asking us to do. And Nebuchadnezzar was like, bet, I'm turning up the furnace. I'm turning up the heat. Anybody ever felt like in your life, the heat was turning up? Like things were getting harder. The closer you were getting to God, the closer you felt like you were getting to the breakthrough, the harder you were trying, the heat was being raised. That's intentional. That's an intimidation. Um, that's an intentional tactic to get you to back off, to get you to know that what you're doing is actually working. The heat's going up. So anyway, Nebuchadnezzar wanted to turn the heat up 7 times. And she's like, there is no way anyone can survive this. And what happened is the plan backfired because the guards that threw the three Hebrew boys into the furnace, they got burnt up and they died. Did you hear what they got burnt up and they died? But three Hebrew boys got in the furnace and they could see through a little, I picture it being like a little window on the outside, right? Where you can kind of see what's going on in there. And they were like, oh my gosh, there's a fourth person. There's somebody else in the fire. And that was the person that was covering them so that they came out of that fire. Not only did they survive, oh my gosh, they came out unscathed. They came out with not even a tinge of their hair, not even a particle of their clothing smelling like smoke. They were in a fire turned up deliberately to kill them, and they came out fully clothed in their right minds. They basically went in like they didn't even go in, right? And so, and now look, how many years later? I don't know when the book of Daniel was written, but that's where that is. I think that's in chapter 3. So if you want to read that for yourself, read the whole book of Daniel. It is literally fire. But go read that for yourself so you can get revelation from God for yourself. But look at it. How many years later? Thousands of years later, here we are rejoicing over what they went through. God knew that that fight was fixed, but God knew that what we needed to see, we needed to read, we needed to know that that is how God protects his children, right? That's how he protects you when you say, no, I'm going to do what God, that's what he's like going in the street to get on the motorcycle. Um, but that is what we needed to know. That's what's been to build our faith. We've been also talking a lot about exercising your faith. Everyone, welcome in. Hi. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you share it with someone who needs it. Okay. Because this is good. And make sure you watch it again. And leave me a comment if you watch the replay. So I believe that that's one of the reasons that story was able to take place, because it shows you that when you stand firm on who God is, on what He's told you, and your belief in Him, and you refuse to bow to the systems of this world, and you refuse to be beat up in the battles that are surrounding you spiritually and even physically, God saves you, right? He not only saves you physically, but He saves you spiritually. Right. So I hope this was good to somebody, because this was good to me. Okay. This made me excited because I'm over here like my husband about to be watching this WrestleMania for a long time. But I'm like, I'm getting revelation off of anything. I get excited off what the Lord shows me. And I hope you do too. So I hope you know that. If I keep saying it, maybe I'll continue to talk about how to exercise your faith on my next live. I'll continue to talk about how to gear up for this fight that is fixed. And we're going to walk this thing out together, because this is faith in footsteps, right? Or we put our feet to our faith. It takes faith to know that the fight is fixed, right? Like first, start there. So some people are like, yeah, it may be fixed for them, but it ain't fixed for me. But no, it's fixed for you. Happy birthday, my only psalm. Happy birthday to you. Hello. Feliz cumpleaños, okay? Happy birthday. And thank you for joining my live on your birthday. That's awesome. Do you have any plans today? So I hope that you experience the love of God today and the joy that He has for you. Okay. I hope that whatever was causing you shame is burnt up. I hope that whatever desire you have in your heart, that God fulfills it. All these police. Look at them. What are they doing? And that's my prayer for you, that you would burn with the fire of God, that you would desire Him more, that you would grow more intimate with Him, that your purpose would pop forth in this season, okay? It's spring, you're a spring baby. So I pray that you spring forth in this season in Jesus' name. But happy birthday. So, um, Yeah, I don't have nothing else today. That was all I had, and I feel like it was good enough, guys. And just remember that the fight is fixed. If you don't take nothing else from this, please, if you're getting beat up, it's time to go talk to the coach. It's time to go talk to the ref and say, Lord, I'm getting beat up. What's going on? I know I win at the end, but I'm not trying to come back with a bloody mouth and broken neck. Okay. Are we gonna do this? Go go to him. He will give you strategy. Okay. But I want you to remember. My Psalm only one. Oh, sorry, I said it wrong. My only song. Make sure that you remember on your birthday that you have everything that you need to live your life bravely, and that, hello, and that God has not given you a spirit of fear, but one of power, of love, and of a sound mind. I say this as a friend. Bye.